Okay, we will take a look at the setup menus in the MpXv3 system. MpX3 is for use with the STU3 as well. So this is not regarding the old systems with STU1 or 2, but only V3. Here you have your system smart card. Enter that into your monitor and it's starting the setup program. If you have a full range, the remaining monitors, which is turned on and in the insert smart card or press any key picture, they will start as well. However, only the monitor where you insert the smart card will have the possibility to do the part of the setup, which is for the STU, the second menu here. For all other monitors on this range, that line will be gray. What we see in the first picture is actually perhaps the most important part of the daily use regarding maintenance and such things. We might recognize the shot counters and noise registrations from earlier, but new for the V3 system is that we have the possibility to have up to 3 different target lines connected to one firing line. And by doing that, we need one STU per target line, and that's the STU 0, 1, and 2 we see here. On this system, we only have one STU 3, and it has the address STU 0. A bit confusing, but we have to keep this in mind. You see the shot counters, the number of shots which has been registered on this STU. Remember, all the counters are in the STUs, not in the monitors. On this STU, it has been fired 205 shots in total. This is these two. Then we have the reg 3. It is the number of times it has been registered signal on 3 out of the 4 sensor inputs in this target number. And reg 1/2, it is the number of times it has been registered noise on 1 or 2 of the 4 sensor inputs in this target. CS is neglectable. It belongs to a older protocol which is not in use anymore for most systems. What we can see here is that we have quite a few instances of reg 1/2. 37 times this has happened. Not a huge number, but if these numbers are very, very high, it might be that we have a sensor or a target electronics or a sensor cable that's acting up, generating noise. And then normally we would have an absurd number on the reg 1/2. If you get a frame hit or whatever, you can have a reg 1/2, or you can even have what we call a reg 3. 3 out of the 4 sensor inputs is registering. Then you will also, in training mode at least, get a message on your monitor saying that one sensor is not registering, with an arrow pointing to the sensor which did not register. So to reset these counters, we can go down to the target setup. So we can start there and enter. And then we have the reset shot counters. And pressing OK. Please confirm that you will. Yes, we want. That's OK. And for the zeroing target, we will have a separate video for that. We will get back to that later. So back. And now we can see that the trip counters are reset. The total is still there because that's not resettable. Then you need to run a separate type of upgrade. Okay, so these are now reset, and this is something you typically do when you maintain your target and so on, to have a track of how many shots you've actually fired since last target maintenance. This also gives you an overview about how many register errors you have, and we strongly recommend to have a logbook So you can kind of track any target over time to see if it has any kind of issues. Back to the Reg 3 and Reg 1/2, it is completely natural that you will have some of these. What you are looking at for a target with potential problems is when these counters are very much higher than the rest of the targets on your range compared to the number of shots that's actually been shot on the target. The percentage of errors compared to the number of shots. Okay, so we can take a look at the monitor setup. This is not so much you can actually do here. You can change the language on the monitor. You have a few different languages here. English is probably the correct one. Access control, if you want to have limited use of the system where the shooter needs to use a smart card in the monitor for shooting, this has to be set to yes. Then you cannot push any button, you have to enter a user card to the monitor. Slave, it is in certain circumstances you want to have a system where you have more than one monitor connected to one target. Then only one monitor should be the master. The remaining additional monitors to that same target has to be set as slave. Feeding, it is regarding indoor type of targets where we have a motorized rubber roll moving the rubber automatically. So it is the way it's set up here now. It moves for every shot and it moves 40 millimeters. So it's a typical air gun where you have actually paper and not rubber band. Target lift. This is for a certain type of indoor targets where you can set the target height from the monitor. So the standing position is 1 meter up, 50 centimeters and 1 centimeter for the prone. This is not relevant for outdoor targets, can be set to anything. Target light intensity, it's about the pistol light for pistol targets. You have the green and red light instead of turning targets. Not relevant for rifle targets. Unit type, if you want imperial or metric, you want your measurements to be in inches or in millimeters. And then you have the target lift stepping. In some places in the world, this target lift, if you choose kneeling, you get to 50 centimeters, but the shooter still have the possibility to step and do fine adjustments of the height of the target if that's enabled here. So this is the settings for the monitor. You can press OK and we will return. We can go to the monitor, to the SDU setup, and this is, as I said, this is only for the monitor which has the smart card inserted. Only thing to set here is the date and time. The protocols are actually not relevant. This is a user interface for an older type of SDU. This is by default always set to SDU, which is the current and latest protocol for communicating with the targets. Only place in the world where other things exist is in Norway and Denmark. So basically that's the whole setup system for the MpXv3. What I didn't manage to say is that the shot counters can actually also be accessed by the Pegasus software on the firing line. So that might be easier for the maintenance part of it and also for logbooks and so on to export the numbers from a computer instead of running around with all the monitors. Yeah, that's it.